An irregular menstrual cycle is one of the hallmarks of PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome. The thing is, if you're not having a regular period, it makes falling pregnant that much trickier. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can boost your fertility with PCOS. I'm Taryn from PCOS Diet Support, and I was diagnosed probably about 13 years ago when I was trying to conceive with PCOS. And you may not be surprised to know that the majority of women tend to be diagnosed when they are trying to conceive and they are struggling. So for example, if we have anything wrong with our menstrual cycle, or when we get married, or we're in a stable relationship, generally we tend to go on the birth control pill. And that tends to mask a lot of the symptoms of PCOS. Then you decide that you're ready to start a family, you go off the pill, and suddenly your period doesn't come back. Suddenly you get diagnosed with PCOS. And that can be incredibly frustrating. I remember feeling so hopeless and helpless when I was diagnosed with PCOS. But there are genuinely so many things that you can do to improve your fertility, to regulate your menstrual cycle, to boost your chances of being able to conceive. In fact, I was able to conceive naturally twice, and I have 2 beautiful children. I really want to leave you with a message of hope. It is absolutely possible for you to get pregnant with PCOS. And even if you put into place these 5 things that we're going to be talking about, even if after that you still need some help or some medication to help you ovulate, these things are going to set a really solid foundation and give your body the best chance of conceiving. Okay, so let's get into it. Number 1, it's really important that you eat well for your PCOS. We know that PCOS is a hormonal disorder. It is very closely linked to insulin. We know that the higher our insulin levels are, the higher our testosterone levels are. And that can really cause havoc with all of our PCOS symptoms, but it can also cause this irregular menstrual cycle to happen, and it can impact the quality of the eggs that we are producing that are ultimately going to help us conceive. So it's really important that we change the way that we eat. And what I mean by that is it's really important that you focus on foods that are whole foods. So we want to eat a really healthy diet, high in fiber. We want to try and avoid dairy and gluten as far as possible. Dairy, it has been shown to mimic insulin in women with PCOS, and it can cause our bodies to produce too much testosterone. Gluten is very inflammatory in nature, and it can also cause us to have this chronic inflammation, which leads to more insulin resistance and just makes the situation much worse. Now, I know that this is a very brief overview. There is this video over here that you're welcome to go and watch for more details on how to eat well for your PCOS. But also I do have a membership called PCOS Foodies, where I give you monthly meal plans, where I give you all the support that you need to implement these changes in terms of eating well for your PCOS. So if you want to check out PCOS Foodies, just check out the link below. Number 2, it's really important that you take some key supplements. And there are a number of reasons for this. The first supplement that I want to talk about is inositol. And you can watch this video over here about inositol. But inositol has some wonderful research behind it on how it is so helpful for women with PCOS. It helps to manage testosterone levels. It helps to bring about spontaneous ovulation. It helps to improve egg quality in women with PCOS. It improves the fertility and success rates, pregnancy rates of women with PCOS. There is so much helpful information. But honestly, when I was trying to conceive, the first thing that I did is started taking inositol. It's even protective in pregnancy. So when you do get pregnant, it helps to protect your unborn baby from a lot of the symptoms of PCOS. So I highly recommend taking inositol. The second supplement that is so important is vitamin D3. Women with PCOS, about 80% of us are deficient in vitamin D3, and vitamin D is crucial for your fertility. In fact, there's some research that shows that women who are with PCOS who are undergoing IVF, a very high portion of those women tend to be vitamin D deficient as well. Vitamin D is crucial. So definitely taking a vitamin D supplement is highly recommended if you're trying to conceive. And the final one that I recommend is omega-3. Omegas are so important in managing inflammation, and we are known to have chronic inflammation with our PCOS. So it helps to manage inflammation, and it also helps to lower testosterone levels in women with PCOS. So those are always the 3 baseline supplements that I always recommend for women with PCOS. It's inositol, vitamin D3 and omega-3. And if you have a look at the description below, I will give you the links to where I get all of my supplements from, so you can easily go and check that out. So we've spoken about changing your diet, we've spoken about supplements. The third thing that can be so helpful is to monitor your ovulation. Now you might be saying, Taryn, how do I even do that if I'm not ovulating regularly, if I don't have a menstrual cycle? Now, when I was trying to conceive, there was a group of us, there was a group of friends, and we were all going through the same thing at the same time, except of course, I was the one who had PCOS and I was the one who was struggling while everybody around me felt pregnant. The first thing that we all did is we went to buy out ovulation predictor kits. But the thing is that ovulation predictor kits don't work particularly well with women with PCOS. The reason is that the hormone that they test for tends to be high in us all the time. So we get lots of false positives on these ovulation predictor kits, and they're not entirely accurate. So how then can you go about monitoring your ovulation if these tests aren't accurate, or if we're not ovulating regularly? Well, there are two products on the market that I can highly recommend. The one is called OVUSense, and OVUSense is an internal vaginal thermometer, and what it does is it pings for your body temperature every 5 minutes, and it gives you a general average. If you use OVUSense every night, what it will do is it will even predict when you'll be ovulating. It'll give you an ovulation window, and this is incredible because normally body temperature charting, basal temperature charting, it does not predict ovulation. It just tells you that you have ovulated. So this is one of the few ways that women with PCOS know for certain that they actually are going to ovulate. It predicts ovulation. So there's OVUSense. The second one is called Mirror. Mirror is also a fertility tracker, and it works a little bit differently. Instead of taking your core body temperature, what you do is every morning you urinate into a little cup, and it's a dipstick, not like a regular ovulation predictor kit. The thing with Mirror is that it will pick up your specific hormone levels. So if your hormone levels are a little bit higher than normal, as they would be in PCOS, this is your baseline, and it will pick up the spike before ovulation as well. So those are the two ovulation predictor kits designed specifically for women with PCOS. It's OVUSense and it's Mirror. And again, I will put them in the link below. So if you want to check those out, you are absolutely welcome to check them out. But I highly recommend that if you are able to know when you will ovulate, your chances of being able to conceive are that much higher. So we've spoken about knowing when you're going to ovulate. We've spoken about supplements, and we've spoken about changing your diet. What else can be really helpful for PCOS? Well, the next thing that can be really helpful is exercise and moving your body. Now, I don't mean that you have to go and spend hours in the gym every single day. I don't mean that you have to be totally gung-ho about exercise, but exercise is so incredibly important for our PCOS. And the reason is that exercise helps to manage a lot of the metabolic symptoms of PCOS, a lot of the metabolic profile related to PCOS. So it can help make us more sensitive to insulin. If we are more sensitive to insulin, it means we won't be having as much testosterone being produced, which means that we will have a better overall outlook. Our metabolic profile will look that much better. Now, what I really do want to encourage you with is this. Just because you may not necessarily be losing weight as a result of your exercise does not mean that the exercise is not working. The only way that to know that you are seeing improvements in your metabolic profile with exercise is by doing some kind of blood test or looking at your other symptoms of PCOS. So please do not think about exercise directly relating to weight loss. That is not the case. Exercise is crucial for your general health and well-being and for your PCOS. And it will go a long way in giving you a really good space to get pregnant. And the last thing, and I don't say this glibly or lightheartedly because I know that it's easier said than done. But if you are struggling with weight, then losing just a small percentage of your body weight can be really helpful in initiating ovulation and helping to regulate your menstrual cycle. The research shows even losing 5% of your body weight can be so helpful in managing your PCOS symptoms. So weight loss is easier said than done, and I'm totally aware of that. The good news is that implementing a lot of things that we've spoken about, like the supplements, especially Ovasitol or Inositol, changing the way that you eat, exercising, all of those things will work together to help you lose weight with PCOS. In fact, if you watch this video, you'll see I share somebody's story about how she was able to lose weight with PCOS. So it is absolutely possible. And I've worked with thousands of women across the world in terms of helping them manage their PCOS. And weight loss is possible if you know the right tactics. So it is possible. Watch this video to find out more. So those are the 5 things that you can do to help manage your PCOS, and more importantly, boost your fertility to give your body the best possible shot of conceiving with PCOS. I really want to tell you, and I want to encourage you, that if you are struggling to conceive, there is hope. There are things that you can do. So I really want to encourage you to implement these 5 strategies: to change the way you eat, to take supplements, to monitor your ovulation, to lose a little bit of weight, and to get exercise and get moving. I want to encourage you to implement them for at least 3 months. The thing is that it takes about 3 months for that egg to develop in the ovary to be released. So you need to give these strategies at least 3 months. If you've given these strategies at least 3 months and you are still not seeing any improvements, then by all means, go and seek further advice. Go and see your doctor, see a reproductive endocrinologist. But know that all of your hard work in these 3 months is going to give your body the best shot. It's going to put you in a really good place to be able to conceive and to make whatever medication or whatever prescription might be given that much more effective. So thank you so much for joining me on this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.